Hello everybody, this is Carol from Friendly Quail. Thank you, welcome back. It's time for Try Something New Tuesday. So today I'm going to have you join with me while I use a technique from Melanie at the Treasured Page, which she used wax paper to make windows. Now I've done vellum and acetate and things like that, but I've never used wax paper. And this is cheap. And I thought, well, I'll try it. And then she used wax paper and ran them through the, what do you call them? Embossing folders. And I tried some of that. And I'm not sure what to use them for. I tried one in a tag and it worked, but I'll show you how she did that. But she uses, when you run this through, you get like white crackles on it, and so then she used a heat gun to get rid of those. So that worked, and I did that and it worked. So they're kind of cool. I'm not sure exactly how I'd use them, but other ways to use them. So if you have any ideas after you see them, put them in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. So we're going to try something new. Thank you for being here. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to just start explaining kind of what I did. First, she used a rectangle on hers. So I made a template so I could cut out rectangles so they'd be the same. And then so I have two pieces here that are glued together now with this in the middle. Then she used, you can see this is washi tape, a wide washi tape, and she used some book page. And you can't really see, you can kind of see maybe that you can see through it. If I hold it like this, you can see it's transparent. And I have a die cut in here, and then just decorated it after I glued them together. So that was my first one. And I tried a big circle, which turned out, this is like a journal card, and it turned out, except I didn't get the wax paper very tight in there, so it's a little baggy, but it's still, you can see through it, and it's kind of, you know, it's okay. But I was thinking, you know, there's not much room to write on these, and I could have used, you know, like a different color on back here, but like I did with this, but there's not a lot of room to write on it. And for journal cards, I kind of like to be able to write on them. So I thought, well, maybe I can make something that's similar, but it's not as big. So I made this one, and I'm always trying to see if you can see. If I tilt it, you can see the light coming through here from the back. The washi tape is transparent completely. The book page is not. So you get a little bit different look. And then I have a sticker on here, which is a washi sticker. It's on there. So it worked, and I thought it turned out pretty good. I've got more room to write on the back of this. I used a card on the back that I could write on. I'm going to sew around these. I haven't put anything like a tag topper on them yet. So then I just used some words and, you know, some different things to make it look pretty. That one turned out pretty nice. And then I used, on this one, I used some of the, if I hold it up really close, you can probably see there's a design on the wax paper. I did that on the top, not on the back. And I just put a sticker in here. And so it kind of looks like a specimen. And I've made specimen cards before. This isn't much different than that in a way, but It gave it just a little more texture, and it's kind of nice. I kind of like it, so I might do some more of those. And then I just use some other things on it to decorate. So I'm going to make one of those with you. And I think what I'm going to do for this one is put my circle up high and then decorate down here. And then that way the circle will be up here and you can write down below. Not that it matters, but that's what I think I'm going to do. So I'm using this 2 1/4 circle punch. And I have these, this cut, turn it around, about 3 inches by 6 inches. That's what I cut these at. So what I want to do is put my circle up here. This is my EK punch, and I really, really like those. And what I'm doing is I'm going to go up here and look where that slot I put in there is in the middle. And then just go down a little bit. And I'm doing them both at once, but so you really got to hold it together. Try it again. And if it's a little bit off, ow, not too bad. You know, I was thinking of this distance here. If it's really a lot off, you could just take a little bit off that side. I love these punches. These are my favorite punches. They fold up so they store easier. Whoop. Yeah, now I say it and then I won't do it. Okay, so it lays flat. And I've got a number of circle ones like that. So now I've got my circle. I need to distress this. Now you could just cut you don't need a punch. I mean, you could just draw a circle and cut it out. It's just that it's a little more difficult to do because you have to work harder at it. You have to cut the circle out. But that's, you know, if you don't have a punch, that's what you do. So now this one, I'm putting this on what would be the back of it. I'm just kind of going around the edge of the circle. Okay? And I'll do the rest later. What I do is put a piece of, and she put a piece of wax paper down. I think she put wax paper on the top and the bottom, if I remember right. I looked at it last week. And so I had cut a couple of wax paper things, and I need to just make sure it's going to fit on here. It's a little longer than it needs to be. And I found that with wax paper, my white glue did not work that well. I needed to use Fabri-Tac because it's got that wax on it. It's like a resistant thing. So I'm going to put Fabri-Tac. Why does it never want to work when I'm on camera? Okay, here we go. Around this here. And just a little to the edges. Because I know it's square. I'm just kind of mushing it now. I'm not putting any more glue on. I'm just kind of spreading it out. All right. There we go. This is where you have to make sure that you get it tight. So I didn't with the other big one. Now, when she did this, she used her heat gun, and if there were any marks on it, like there's a white mark on it here, that can go away. Pardon the noise. You can mute your thing for a minute if you want. Whoop, I gotta plug it in. I unplugged it and plugged something else in it. Okay. It's not too noisy. But it'll get a little bit more translucent. And it gets rid of all of the little white spots and things on it. Now, I did this on a couple of them. Turn that off. I did this on a couple of them after I had it all together, and it didn't work real well because the sticker that I put on wrinkled up a little bit from the heat. So if you're going to do that, I would do it right away. And in fact, we could get this one ready right away too. So I'm going to put glue on this. Okay, and then spread it a little bit. Need to get it kind of close, but I don't want it sneaking out underneath the edges. And I think I need to take a little bit of this off. Well, this I'm going to have to cut. It was ripped crooked. Okay. Make sure that that will fit. When I did one of these, I noticed that a little bit stuck out the edge, and I didn't see it till later. There's like just a tiny little bit here. I just used my sander and sanded it off afterwards. So I'm trying to make sure that this is stretched as wide as it can go so that it's straight. On there. And again, I have a little bit of the white showing. And it does make it just a little bit more see-through. Okay. All right, so this is going to be going together like this, but we want something in the middle. So I'm going to show you what she did. She used washi tape for part of it. Let's see if this is sticking on here. I'm going to cut this. I put this on up here, I'm going to get that flower in there, at least part of it. If I cut it a little bit more off, I have to make sure it goes over the edge though. And I think I'm going to have to cut a little bit off the top. I don't want it to be right in half. I want it a little more off the top. I want it to be more like 2/3 or something like that. Now I'm just going to kind of set this down real soft and put this on top to see what I've got. So I do have the flower and I have some writing. I'm going to take a little bit more off this side. and put that back on there. Okay. Now you can see through the back. It's not as dark because the washi tape is printed on only one side. Okay, and then I want a little bit of book page, which I have over here somewhere. Here. I won't need a whole lot. This has some dates on it and that, so it's kind of interesting. And this is big enough to go over here. Now I did a little bit of distressing. I'm using Vintage Photo right now. This is the only part that I'll actually show. I'm going to see how far do I want that over by putting this down here. And that's about good. So now I'm going to put a little Fabri-Tac down. I'm going to use my fingers. And a little bit along the edge of here, because that is going to go over the washi tape. Okay. So that will look like this now. And then I want something else in there. So I tried numerous things. I got a bunch of die cuts pulled out, or that I cut one day. And I have them all in individual little bags like this, each kind. And it works pretty good. But I'm thinking that I might want something like this. Yeah, I like that. That's going to be good. So now I have to put it on there. Now that I can use art glitter glue for. So I'm going to kind of see what I did. I have these two leaves are on each side of that flower. Cover up. Where'd my cover go for this one? There it is. All right. If you want to do any distressing or anything, but this is dark, so I'm not going to worry about it. You could do your distressing before you put it on. One day I took my Big Shot, which is a hand crank kind, and I put it, I did all kinds of small, there, it has to go like that, so that this is in the picture. I put all kinds of small pieces of cardstock through it. Yeah, I like that. That turned out really pretty. And now it's time to glue it together. But that was fun. I have enough of other stuff here. I think I do have the wax on this side, so if I have to, I'll put a little Fabri-Tac around that part. That's maybe what I'll do. I'll go back and put some of this on where the wax paper is. Now I can't get the cover off. There we go. Because this just kind of beads up. So you got to use your glue, different glues for different tasks, I guess. There we go. All right, now I need to turn that over, and I need to really work at lining it up. And there we go. I got a little glue on here. I'm going to clean it up. And then I have a little paper towel here. Don't want to get glue on the back of it. Okay. So now I'm going to make this a tag. And I have cards that I've cut, and I've cut them on both sides so I can just move it from one side to the other. And give myself a tag shape. Things are sticking on me. Oh, I'll tell you. It's going to rain again this afternoon. That's Florida for you in the summer, I guess. I haven't spent a lot of summers, the whole summer here. We're going to go up to Wisconsin in the fall. So now I would, I probably will sew around these too. That's why I didn't put any ribbon in or anything yet, or what I would do. But I can distress the edges. So this would go where there's, where, you know, flower things would go. Nature journal, anything pretty where you're putting flowers and lace or anything like that would look really good in there. And you can see through the back, and you do see, but here now I've got space to write down here. So I could just decorate this. I don't necessarily need to do that right now. You've seen, you know, I try different things. I pull out, you know, I want it, this has got pink in it, so I'm probably not going to use red, but I do have some of these tickets that have flowers on that I might use something like that, because that kind of pulls those colors out. But I need more than one thing. I could put something like this on, and underneath it, like maybe that. I could put a number on that. You know, I could just try different things. Or here's a totally different thing. This has green in it and some butterflies. That would look great with another, maybe numbers or something like that on it. Now I have bins of each one of these things, and I just pull some out and put it in a box that I can keep on my desk, so I don't forget that I have stuff. But that will get something put on there. I will stitch around the outside. But the other thing that intrigued me was what she did with the embossing folders. So I'm just going to pull like one out and show you how she did it. But I've got different embossing folders, and like this one, that gets that design on them. And I fooled around and I tried experimenting. This one has like mail things on it. And I got a couple of them, and then I have this one, which is the one I used on the tag. And I had this one from Tim Holtz, and actually these little skinny ones worked better than this big fat one, because this one really dented the paper big time, like really heavily dented it. And at first I was thinking, could I use something like this in a shaker card? And I don't think it would work, because you've got, this one is Derice. I don't know what these are. I got them at a thrift store or yard sale or something. But you take your piece and you put the wax paper in it. Just make sure that you have enough underneath it that you can then cut it down to the right size. And let me grab this. This is my big shot. And I figured out you have to play around with it a little bit to see what you need when you're using one of these. Like if I use just put this on and then this, it's not quite enough. It doesn't push down on it. But if I use two of these, it's too tight and it doesn't want to go through. So what I found I had to do was take some of these things back and just use this base part here. And then I could make it go through with, start that up higher. I could get it to go through. So whatever, if you've got some type of thing like this, you need to, and I hope that I got that on camera, enough that you could see it. You play with it. Oh, sorry about that. You play with it and you see what does mine require to fit through there. You see all this green on here from cutting out all those green leaf things. And then once you get it out, it's pretty, there's a lot of white on it. It's pretty crackly. Let's see if you can see that. See all the white that's on there? Because of being scrunched. So that's where then you go with your heat tool, and it magically takes it away. What it does is it melts the wax around it, I think, and smooths it out. But you still have your embossing. So you really only need to do it on the front for the major part, but I turned it over and did it on the back because it just changes the look of it a little bit too. And then that way anything that got crunched on the back would be clear as well. I got this on low. I could put it on high, but it's a lot louder. And that's how you do those extra pieces that you can use. This would, you know, this, when I hold it up, this one is, you get little cracks in it. That's why when I held it up to the light, I could see little cracks in it. And so I thought, well, that wouldn't work very good for a shaker card, but it works good. You could use it in layers, rip pieces of it and put it on something underneath. I think there's a lot of different things you could use it for. You've got texture because of it. So let me know what you think. Can you think of anything you would use these pieces for? You're limited to size because you can only get so much in the folder. So that's it. So anyway, that's it. I tried it and it worked. I'm with the cards. I'm not sure that it's any better or, it's cheaper than vellum or acetate or something, but you certainly, it's something most people have in their homes, and it's very cheap, so you get a lot of stuff out of it. But I'm thinking that it might be nice for texture on layering things. So I'm going to be trying some things with that. So thanks for being with me today. And if you stayed till the end, that's really a big thanks. And this is Carol. And I'm going to just say this because I forgot to say it a couple times. I try to always think about this. Do something that you love every day, because that's how you feel content and happy. So this is Carol from Friendly Quail saying bye.